Today we're at the Ogle Homestead, an area that they called the Jungle Brook because of how dense the rhododendrons and various other plants were along this creek. You guys can probably hear me approaching the creek. We'll probably be walking along it a few times, except the real goal of today's hike is to get to a place called the Ferry House. What's really interesting, and I'm excited to see, is this is after a big firestorm went through here back in, oh man, I don't remember what year anymore. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many of these cabins along this trail survived, because a lot of people don't know this, or may not know this, but the Smoky Mountains used to be very settled. There's a lot of old towns and resorts, or it's one of the things I like to look for when I'm here, because I know it's here, and it's something you'll easily miss if you don't know it's here. We're here on the Ogle Homestead, where I just walked through their main house, which you can tell is a dog trot style house, defined by the two separate structures sharing the same roof, and there's a bit of a breezeway in between. Now, looks like we're entering their barn, which I think is kind of beautiful. It's not your typical, like, what you imagine a barn to be. Here's the door. It seems this maybe slides, or no, there's the door, and that's a locking latch, I think. I love going through these abandoned places in the woods. This one's very frequently traveled. Here on the Twincreeks Trail, we're kind of walking, and it goes from one type of forest to another. We're heading into a pine forest now. I'm starting to think that maybe the online guides were a little wrong. They said to park at either the Ogle parking lot or another one instead of the Twincreeks parking area, because it could be overflowed. But I think it set me up to go way longer of a hike than I intended to, which is it's a pro and a con. Another little stacked wall right there left behind. There's more of it right up there. So the Twincreeks Trail opens up to this paved area near where the Twincreeks parking area is after you go from the Ogle area. I noticed this bridge has a weight limit of 5 tons. So if you're coming here, be sure to be careful that your mom doesn't step on this bridge while you're visiting the ferry house. So here your boy mom was walking through the woods looking for the ferry house, only to come up on a paved road with a sign. I'm a stellar researcher and investigator and adventurer. You guys will always be safe with this guy. Nobody else had been able to find those complicated trackings and discover the mythical ferry house without me. Here you'll see what I believe is the old Voorhees residence, repurposed into a firehouse. And there's a bit of a dam near it. So the ferry house was built by a man named Louis E. Voorhees, or Louis, whatever they prefer. I haven't asked. He bought and developed the land in 1928, and he owned 38 acres of land, so pretty much what we were walking around here. And it eventually was claimed by the Smoky Mountain National Park. He wanted this area to be a mountain retreat so he could get away from the crowds of the people, and he was experimenting on water power, so that's why there's a well house and probably a lot of dams. I found a cool little place with a silo and what appears to be the remains of an old structure. I don't know exactly what it would have been for, probably for some sort of water thing, which is what we'll be calling it, the water thing building. I totally went the wrong way. Went too far. The firehouse is too far. But here we are. Look at this. We're by some waterworks. You see that cracked pipe, and then it heads right over there. See that mossy little whatever pipe box. Another pipe goes along it. Probably goes out that way. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And you can see the ferry house just up through the trees ahead. I'm loving these flowers, man. I think it's worth it. It was worth it to miss stuff. To go the wrong way and get a little lost, because we found some cool things along the lost path that I wouldn't have found had I actually known where I was going. So thank goodness for that. It kind of helped tell a little bit more of the story of this area. Here's a trap. It's been sprung, actually. I don't see anything in it. That's creepy. And look at the beautiful grassy forest up to the ferry house right up there. Lovely, I love it. Some of the footage may be a little shaky because it's a little bit of a shaky place, and I'm holding my camera with one hand right now. Managing other stuff with my other hand, unfortunately. Not what you're thinking, but not too far off. Here we go. Let's go inside it. That's one thing I want to check out. You can see a beautiful little spring water coming up right here. And it flows out that way, past a chain link fence and a bit of a center for research, I think. And these steps are janky. Probably because the mountain has shifted over the years. All right. Look at this. What a beautiful spot. It's small, gotta admit. But you know, I've never seen a ferry that was all that large. We're gonna head up and around it. Here we go. You see that torn up, eerie spot. Probably, oh goodness. Don't fall down these steps. And here's the back of the ferry house. Luxurious backyard. Here it is. The inside of the ferry house. You see a little spring, some holes in the rocks that let the water flow through from underneath the mountain. And it flows into that pipe, and out the little pipe you guys see out there. Yeah, I thought there'd be more to this place on the inside. Oh well. Still gonna get a photo of it. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I got a few pictures out of this. Not bad at all. Let's end it on that shot right there. Have a good day, everybody.